2 months ago, a squad of overarmed mercs busts into remote prison 42. Why? To break out Reed Richards, but not the stretchy Boy Scout. We're talking the Maker, the evil Reed from Earth 1610 with a helmet shaped like a Wi-Fi router. Turns out, he planned this escape months ahead. Brainwashed the therapists, hired mercs, got his gear, then fused those poor guys into a gross flesh clone of himself and left that thing behind as a decoy. 6 weeks later, Reed Prime and Black Panther investigate the prison. They poke the Maker clone, and it melts into meat soup. Yeah, turns out one of the mercs wasn't up to spec. 1 week later, the Maker hits the Baxter building. Then he goes full Pokemon thief, stealing Vibranium, Terrigen, Stark Tech, Krakoan portals, yes, even that, Atlantean gear, and a magic lance from Doctor Strange's junk drawer. The Illuminati find out and start sweating. Meanwhile, Maker, he teleports into Miles Morales' bedroom like a multiversal Jehovah's Witness and goes, "Hey bro, wanna come home to our dead dimension?" Miles, "Nah, I'm good." Maker, "Okay, call me maybe." He gives him a card and poof. Then he activates a portal made of all the stolen stuff. Illuminati show up. He drops the bomb. "I'm not invading, I'm leaving. Going somewhere I can finally be God." They try to destroy the portal. Doesn't work. Maker asks, "Would you erase me?" Reed answers, "Yes." Maker smiles. "Cool. Keeping receipts." Meanwhile, in Earth 6160, Peter Parker's distracted by a flashy machine and doesn't notice the spider about to bite him. The Maker does. He catches it just in time. Bro, did he just steal the spider bite? The Maker didn't just rewrite history. He redesigned the entire world in his own image. He made Loki King of Asgard, then cut off its connection to Earth by destroying the Bifrost. He prevented the Fantastic Four from ever existing by delaying their rocket launch, and they went not hit by the cosmic rays that gave their powers. Bruce Banner still became the Hulk, but found inner peace instead of rage. Howard Stark is alive and best friends with Obadiah Stane. Together, they built Stane Stark Industries. And Captain America, the Maker, doesn't find him. The Sentinel of Liberty is gone. With Earth's paragons erased, the Maker steps in as a messiah. He orchestrates world politics behind the curtain, manipulating the Hulk, the Harada-Yoshida alliance, and the Rasputin family until everything crashes. At a live broadcast for the grand reopening of the city, a portal opens and an army of clones storms out. Captain America, Thor, Wasp, Giant Man, Vision. They're not here to negotiate. Obadiah suits up and fights. Howard doesn't. Obadiah is impaled and his suit explodes. Howard is knocked out cold. He wakes up in a prison, face to face with the Maker. The clones? Time-traveling suicide bombs, their ancestors brought in and executed. The clones dissolve, erased from the timeline. Howard lashes out, "They'll try again. Kill you as a baby." The Maker smirks. "Wouldn't work. I'm not from this universe." He reveals the Immortus engine, the machine that reshaped this world. And the truth, the future wants him dead because he destroyed their past. Then he removes his helmet. A chunk of his skull is missing, his memory damaged. Because the Maker succeeded to change the history on the second try. He is damaged because of the first attempt to change the timeline like he wanted. And finally, the twist. He needs Howard's help because the Maker believes Howard Stark is the one who built the Immortus engine in the first place. Obadiah Stane is dead, buried with full honors. But for Tony Stark, this isn't closure. It's a beginning. After the funeral, Howard Stark reveals what really happened, and it changes everything. 2 days ago, Howard was summoned to the Maker's castle, not alone. Around him stood the world's most powerful leaders, men and women supposedly at war, Rasputins, Hulks, coalitions, rivals, all smiling. But the truth? There is no war. For decades, the 7 major global powers have been staging conflicts in turns. They rotate roles. One pretends to be the aggressor, while the rest pretend to oppose it. Manufactured crises, fake threats, carefully broadcast, carefully resolved, all of it. A show. The real enemy? Public unrest, distrust, rebellion. By keeping the masses afraid of an external threat, the leaders avoid scrutiny, keep control. And the Maker, the architect of this world, supports it entirely. He's seen simulation. He's run experiments. He's built artificial societies within the city and watched them collapse again and again. Why? Because peace never lasts. Not because of governments, but because of people. He believes humanity is fundamentally incompatible with lasting peace. So instead of forcing it, he feeds them a lie big enough to sustain the illusion, a lie big enough to stop war by pretending it never stopped. Howard is shaken, not just by the conspiracy, but by the realization that Obadiah Stane, his friend, his partner, was part of it. Now, Back in the present, Howard tells Tony, and the two agree. This world cannot go on like this. But before they act, they must prepare. Tony is sent away, quietly. Howard has a plan. One day ago, the Maker brought him to the lowest levels of the city, a place of impossible science, hidden from the world. There, he revealed that he still wants Howard to build the Immortus engine. The Maker thinks Howard is the creator of this machine in the future, a device built to do more than maintain the lie. It's meant to shape the future itself, and the one helping build it is Reed Richards. Not as Mr. Fantastic, but wearing a full metal mask. Reed Richards is the Dr. Doom on Earth, 6160. In the far future, Earth's final army, made of immortal, cloned, genetically perfected heroes, stands ready. They await the signal of their master, a godlike figure commanding across time. That signal finally comes. Kang steps forward in full power armor and declares, "The time is now." The Immortus engine was never meant to be finished, but Howard Stark and Reed Richards did it anyway. And while they built it together, Reed revealed the truth. He remembered everything about the Maker, where he came from, and how he rewrote this world. Imprisoned and tortured, Reed had been made to count every second by a sadistic genius. Howard offered him something rare, freedom. 1 week later, the engine was complete. Howard handed it to the Maker, but not without a message. "I didn't invent it," Howard said. "I improved it. The original. That was your past self." The Maker grinned. "Then I'll bring this back to him." But behind the scenes, Reed was already gone, sabotaging the city's system. The temporal shield dropped, Kang's army invaded, and war exploded between the children of tomorrow and the forces of the future. The Maker, furious, turned on Howard. "You've destroyed everything I built. You'll die with it." As chaos erupted, Kang faced the Maker head-on. In a brutal clash, Kang shattered the Maker's helmet, and somehow, the paradox of time repaired his brain, triggering a memory. A long time ago, the Maker had traveled forward using the engine, only to find Kang waiting for him. "You want to know who made you?" Kang said. "I did." And then he blasted half the Maker's skull. Back in the present, Howard's armor failed. Wounded and desperate, he fused the engine to his chest, unleashing a shockwave that shut down the entire city. Kang, the Maker, everyone, out cold. Reed escaped with the engine. Howard found Kang's mask and froze. Who Kang really was broke his heart. Then the city sealed itself. World leaders gathered at the Maker's castle, staring at the dome that now sealed off heroes and monsters alike. Inside, time moved differently. 2 years outside meant 3,000 within. No one knew what would come out, or if anything would. With Stain dead and Howard Stark missing, the North American Union was leaderless. As tensions rose, some called for unity, others for division, until Hulk calmly asked, "Shall we vote?" Meanwhile, Tony Stark received his father's final letter, the broken Immortus engine, and a purpose. With Reed Richards, he forged a new suit and took up a name he hadn't yet earned, Iron Lad. Together, they journeyed into the ice and found Captain America alive. Remember, the Maker had searched before and failed, because Tony had already found him first, thanks to the Immortus engine, by traveling back in time before the Maker comes. Tony Stark and Reed Richards, who now goes by Dr. Doom, infiltrate Asgard. Their mission? Free Thor, imprisoned for treason. Thor reclaims Mjolnir in defiance, defeating Lady Sif and the guards. Together, the three escape to Earth thanks to Thor's magic, and Sif jumps into the beam to follow them. At Stark Tower, truth hits hard. The Maker erased Earth's heroes by preventing the events that forged them. Thor was meant to be king, but Loki, with the Maker's help, stole it all. Now, with Thor and Sif on their side, the mission begins. Retrieve the catalysts the Maker stole, artifacts meant to awaken each hero's destiny. They strike Latveria, but just as they breach the vaults, hundreds of catalysts hidden in countless repositories, Henry Dugari of the Maker's Council attacks. Thor is impaled. Reed and Sif are taken down. Dugari nearly kills Tony, until Tony fires a repulsor blast straight into his face. Thor, bleeding but defiant, teleports the team and one repository back to Stark Tower. But vengeance comes swiftly. Disfigured and enraged, Dugari warns the Council. They strike back with a space-based weapon built by Stain Stark Industries. Tony barely activates the Immortus engine in time. A blinding beam rains from orbit. Boom. Stark Tower, and blocks of New York around it. Gone. The Council blames Tony. Teen terrorist, they say. His own invention destroyed him. 1 week later, the crater is still smoldering. Thousands are missing, and the world mourns a monster. But somewhere else. In the streets of Hinokuni, a girl is hit by a car. She should be dead, but she stands up, completely unharmed. And far away, unrest brews in ancient kingdoms. The world thinks Tony Stark is gone, but the spark he lit has only just begun. Enjoyed the story? Then subscribe, hit the bell, and tap one of the videos on screen to discover more comic book stories.